Welcome, friends, to the Wrestle Cave, the #1 place on YouTube to check out all your WWE action figure fun matches, action figure reviews from WWE and Mattel. Anyway, I'm here for some brand new WWE breaking news. Here at the end of June 2019, I never expected to wake up to hear that WWE had hired Eric Bischoff and Paul Heyman back to the WWE under brand new roles to the WWE created today. And they're both going to be executive directors in the WWE. Paul Heyman is going to be running Monday Night Raw as an executive director, working closely with talents, both men and female, also with the writers of Monday Night Raw, and they're going to be answering to Vince McMahon. So Vinnie Mac is still going to have the last ultimate say, but I'm definitely very excited to see that WWE is changing some, things fast here. They're fastly approaching their brand new WWE TV contracts for Raw and SmackDown Live coming up in the beginning of October here in 2019. So WWE seeing the writing on the wall as their ratings have continued to be in a free fall over the last couple of years, especially here in 2019. They've gone to some dangerous lows that WWE and their fans have been very concerned about. So Paul Heyman has been hired as the executive director of Monday Night Raw, and we'll talk about that in a minute. And then Eric Bischoff has been hired as the executive director of SmackDown Live. Now he's going to work closely with SmackDown Live stars, both men and women. He's also going to be working closely with WWE writers and also working closely with Fox executives, trying to bring us the most must-see, action-packed SmackDown Live we've ever seen, starting in the beginning of October. Now, both Eric Bischoff and Paul Heyman, with their respective roles, are both going to be answering to Vince McMahon. So, like I said, Vince McMahon's going to have the ultimate say, but we're going to have some more opinions in the room, so to speak. So hopefully we can get some better WWE TV. I know since WrestleMania 35, it's been very hard for the WWE core fan base to stay with the company right now, but I can expect better things to come here in the future. WWE or WWF years ago, whenever they have seen problems getting much worse, they've also, they've always done a 180 or done something to try to change their business model and get the ratings back up, or the WWE live attendance, which I hear here in 2019 has not been good as well. Now, I'm actually going to Survivor Series 2019 and NXT War Games in Chicago, and I'm very excited for it, but I'm kind of wondering, are they going to put on a good show? Is it going to be the Survivor Series Raw versus SmackDown? We really don't know yet, but what I know here in the beginning of the summer here in 2019 is that WWE and Vince McMahon are trying to do whatever they can to get our eyes back on the TV screen and our butts back in the seats in the arenas, because, like I said, WWE, Vince McMahon came out before WrestleMania 35 and said WWE has always and will forever be then, now, and forever. So, the McMahons, the patriarch family of the WWE, the billionaire son, Shane McMahon, along with his father, Vince McMahon, and Vince's wife, Linda, along with Stephanie McMahon, and also Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Triple H. We can hope that we're going to see some new and different programming coming up here to end the second half of 2019. And I'm very happy because I was a fan of WCW at their height, and Eric Bischoff was a big part of that. Eric Bischoff was able to talk with talents from outside of WCW and get them to come to a company that a lot of people at the time were viewing as a second-rate company to the WWF. And WCW eventually caught up with the WWF and then eventually overtook them for almost 2 years in the TV ratings. But and also my interest was a big part of wrestling was going back and forth between WWF and WCW. And Eric Bischoff was a big part of that. So I'm very happy to see that he's back in the WWE. He actually got hired by Vince McMahon in 2002 to be the general manager of Monday Night Raw. And he kept that position all the way until the fall of 2005. So 3.5 years he was under that position, and I enjoyed it. I do definitely enjoy to see when they have different on-air characters for their general managers of Raw and SmackDown. It helps give you a different feel to each show, and also just gives you different visuals, along with different attitudes and opinions. So I'm very happy to see that. Now, I would like to see Eric Bischoff and Paul Heyman eventually be the general managers of Raw and SmackDown. Like I said, I do like seeing that a lot more over the years than, for instance, the McMahon family being on both shows. A lot of people have been complaining over the last month or two since WrestleMania, and Vince McMahon bringing out this wild card rule out of nowhere, trying to get the ratings back up to where the networks are going to be happy with these new TV deals. Now, the wild card rule blew up in Vince McMahon's face. He tried to overexpose talent on both Raw and SmackDown Live. We saw Shane McMahon on Monday Night Raw, half an hour. SmackDown Live, half an hour. Pay-per-view, 30 minutes. I mean, it's becoming where, don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of Shane McMahon. Okay, he's my favorite McMahon. And the way they're doing the best in the world gimmick is awesome. I love it. I've been a big fan of the McMahon family all the way back to Vince when he was the boss that everybody hated. And he let everybody just kick his ass and, have their way with them. And how could you not watch that when you're watching somebody get revenge on their evil boss or something like that? So it's something everybody could relate to at one point or another in their lives. And WWE right now, they've got some of the best talent in the world, maybe the best. They've got some of the best in-ring workers. AJ Styles, Seth Rollins, Adam Cole down there in NXT. We just saw Ricochet up here on the main roster. The New Day, Big E, I'm a big fan of. Daniel Bryan, I mean, the list goes on and on with all the talent that WWE has right now at their disposal. And the ratings are, just in the dumps. And it has to be a big part with creative. I mean, if you look at the in-ring work right now, on Raw and SmackDown Live, and especially on the pay-per-views here on the WWE Network, which is only $9.99 a month. But bottom line is the wrestling quality is better than it ever has been. If you look back at the Attitude Era to now, I mean, it's night and day what you're seeing in-ring work-wise. I mean, these guys are able to do things that the wrestlers 20 years ago never could have even dreamt about, except maybe for Shawn Michaels. But I'm a big fan of the WWE, and I always will be. And I've been trying to stick with them through this tough time. And it's been several weeks there in the beginning of June that it's like I couldn't even watch the show. I mean, late May into June here in 2019, it was as if I couldn't even watch a whole Monday Night Raw show. And they've been doing some cool things with Bray Wyatt, which has kept my interest. But again, the wild card rule is leaving a bad taste in everybody's mouth, from talent that are being underutilized to fans like myself who want to see new superstars get built. I mean, one of the reasons that WWE has always been the mainstay in sports entertainment is because they were always creating new stars and megastars. I mean, look what they're doing right now with Ricochet. At the Stomping Grounds pay-per-view, Ricochet defeated Samoa Joe for the U.S. title and maybe the best match of the night. And then he was greeted by Seth Rollins, Triple H, some of the biggest stars in the gorilla position when Ricochet made his way to the back. They are putting a rocket underneath Ricochet, and they're sending him to the moon, man. He's going to be one of the newest, biggest stars in the WWE today. And I thought, when he was in NXT, I thought that is the man when AJ Styles, who's 42 years old, when AJ Styles is ready to put the boots up and he's ready to go home and retire, I think Ricochet is that man to take that mantle away from AJ Styles and be that new Shawn Michaels type wrestler and worker that we love to know. A guy that takes limits, 10 times more than other wrestlers did before him. And I think Ricochet, especially on Monday Night Raw, you saw with the main event he had with AJ Styles. Ricochet was crisp. He was fast. He looked awesome. AJ Styles, on the other hand, was just a couple steps too slow. And AJ Styles has been working with some injuries over the last year, and they have been mounting up on him. He's had to take some time off. We've heard back injuries, hip injuries, shoulder injuries. So it's a number of things that are affecting the Phenomenal One at this point right now. But I expect AJ Styles to hopefully get back to normal here so he can bring Monday Night Raw some great matches and great must-see TV. Because AJ Styles just signed a brand new, I believe, multi-year contract with the WWE. this spring. And AJ Styles is going to be a big part of what WWE's future is all about. And they've had AJ Styles try to bring back his group called The Club with Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, the Good Brothers. And along with AJ Styles, they might be trying to give AJ a little less time in ring and a little bit more on the mic along with Gallows and Anderson, so they can try to give AJ a little bit more of a break going forward with the wrestling in ring. So I'm definitely excited to see that. We've had Bray Wyatt do these Firefly Funhouse gimmicks. I'm very curious to see which brand he's going to be on. I do expect for this wild card rule to end very shortly here in the summer here in 2019. And like I said, I'm a big fan of WWE. I know you guys are too. Tell me what you guys think about the news below. I'm going to be doing live videos from now on where we talk about some of the biggest topics in the WWE, Raw and SmackDown alike. The McMahon family. Again, check out the coolest place on YouTube for all your WWE action figure fun. I'm an action figure madman. I know you guys are too. So like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to see you later. I got more stuff to do. New matches coming